Plain and simple, if you want one of the loudest and most aggressive catbacks in the game for your 2018 and newer non-active exhaust GT, well then the Corsa Extreme should always be in the discussion. Now the made in the USA Corsa is going to combine plenty of volume with a top quality 304 grade stainless build, double Helix X-pipe, and of course your black tips, all for just north of $2,000. No cutting needed here for the 100% bolt-on job, so figure a soft 2 out of 3 wrenches on the old difficulty meter and maybe a couple of hours or so to get everything in place, as we'll demonstrate later in the video. All right, with pleasantries out of the way, let's get down to business here. And listen guys, if you're looking for one of the loudest, if not the loudest catback available for your Coyote powered S550 GT at home, the Extreme from Corsa is going to be the system for you. Now, as you guys heard with our sound clips at the very top of the video, this thing certainly delivers in the tone and volume category and is absolutely gonna peg the Wake the Neighbor scale at a strong 5 out of 5 on my 1 to 5 or 1 to Wake the Neighbor scale underneath full boogie. Also keep in mind here guys, this is with the factory headers or those factory manifolds still in place. Now ditch those in favor of some aftermarket free flowing goodies and you've officially entered face melting territory. But getting back to the Corsa, and I like to call the Extreme, and really any Corsa system for that matter, kind of the Jekyll and Hyde of the exhaust world. Because yes, obviously this thing can be crazy loud and melt faces when you want it to, but if you're just kind of lugging around town, cruising on the highway, this thing can also be whisper quiet. And that's always been one of the big pros with any Corsa system, because at the end of the day, a lot of exhaust companies claim that their systems don't drone, but Corsa really defines zero drone. It's sort of the benchmark. Now, a big reason for this is the company's patented RSC, or reflective sound cancellation technology, which again makes this thing as loud as you want it to be during day, but at the same time can also dial the throttle back, keep things quiet when you need to at night. Well, let's move away from the sound here and talk construction. Let's talk materials. And again, guys, this is a premium system through and through. And as a result, it is going to fetch a premium price tag. Now, this does include the quality 304 grade stainless steel from tip to tip. And that does include the 3-inch mandrel bent tubing, the unique double Helix X-pipe here as I got on my riser, and that's gonna help deliver that raspier note with the Extreme. And then of course the Corsa RSC mufflers, and exiting all out of the quad 4.5-inch Pro Series tips with the black chrome. One of my favorite looking tips in the category. I think the black chrome is beautiful and it just looks so awesome coming out the rear bumper. Just a heads up guys, if you're not digging that, you want a more traditional polished tip instead, you can also find the Extreme with a polished tip on the site. It's actually gonna cost you about $100 less than the black chrome version that we have here. Let's switch gears and get into the install here guys. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a 100% bolt-on job using nothing more than a basic socket set. But since all of your work is done underneath the car, the site is gonna kick things up to a soft 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. Call it a couple of hours or so to complete from start to finish. But now to give you a better idea of just what to expect and what tools you'll need, here's a detailed walkthrough from an AM Tech now. Check it out.
The tools you'll need for this project are an impact gun with a 15mm socket, a 1/4-inch drive ratchet, a 13mm socket, and an exhaust hanger removal tool. Hi everyone, today we're installing an exhaust on our Mustang, but before we do that, let's watch a short video on how to uninstall the stock system first, and we'll see you right back here afterwards.
All right, first step here, we're gonna loosen up the 2 clamps holding our factory resonator pipe, or really the entire exhaust, to our factory headers. Now in order to do that, grab a 15mm deep socket, and we're not gonna remove the nuts, just loosen them up a good amount so that they can move freely. All right, next step, we're moving toward the rear of the vehicle, looking at our rear subframe. There are 2 hangers holding the exhaust up to the subframe here. Now, instead of trying to pop these hangers out of the isolators, because doing that and then getting them back in is gonna be pretty tough. Instead of doing that, we're gonna remove these 2 bolts from the frame and then twist down the hangers off the frame. So grab an extension and a 13mm socket. I'm gonna go right over the rear sway bar and get these 2 bolts off. Once you have those off, lift up and unhook it and bring it down. There's a little locking tab here that hooks right into that. So you're just gonna lift up and rotate it off. Next up, I got my buddy Jared to help me out here. This is definitely a two-person job. Have one person at the tips or the mufflers. I'm gonna be over here just tapping those clamps to the side, and we'll set it aside all in one piece.
So because our new system is larger than our stock system is, we're gonna have to use these adapters to put into the stock front pipes. Now we're going to be reusing the original front clamps from our stock system, and we'll tighten that down using our 15mm socket. Now we can go ahead and install our X-pipe, making sure, of course, that our support brace in the back is closer to the ground. So we'll just slide a couple of our clamps on top and slip it into our adapters. Now we can snug our clamps down with our 15mm socket. We're also going to be reusing our 4 stock exhaust hangers. So in order to get those off, we're going to be using a hanger removal tool. Now you may also need to use some spray lube on the inside of each of the hangers just to help slide it off more easily. So on this front hanger, you want to make sure that this little hook here is facing towards the front of the car. And we're going to go ahead and use a little bit of spray lube just to get it onto the newer exhaust system without any difficulties. And we'll do the same thing for the rear hanger. Now we can go ahead and slide our clamp onto our tailpipe here. And then we'll go ahead and lift it into place, and we'll use the hooks on the hangers to help support it while we get ready to tighten up the front clamp. Now we can go ahead and reuse our original hardware to hold the hangers in place to make sure they don't fall out. So we'll put this bottom one in first, just because it's easier to see. And the other one is up here on the side. It's kind of difficult to get the camera in there, but you'll be able to see where the hole is at once you're underneath looking at it. And we can tighten all these bolts down using our 13mm socket. Now you may find it easier to reach up there if you've got an extension on your ratchet, so let's go ahead and tighten it down. Now we can go ahead and tighten down our front hanger. All right, now we can go ahead and slide our clamp onto our tips. And you want to make sure, as you're looking at the tips this way, the taller of the two tips is towards the inside of the car, and the shorter one goes towards the outside. Now at this point, you can go ahead and eyeball your tips. Make sure that they're level this way. And then we can go ahead and tighten up the rest of our pipes. All right, now that we've got everything lined up the way we want it, all the heights are good, we can go ahead and tighten down all of our clamps using our 15mm socket. And now you can go ahead and repeat that process of installing the muffler and the tip on the other side, and don't forget to put your hangers on as well. And that wraps up our review and install of the Corsa Sport catback exhaust with black tips for 18 to current Mustang GT Fastback without active exhaust. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.